Доброе утро, дорогие друзья. Доброе утро.
I welcome all the participants in our today's conference. It has become a tradition today to hold annual conferences dedicated to the cooperation and relations between Russia and the European Union, and it's extremely important for us, for our party, RPR-PARNAS, because we are the political force which we believe should represent the interests of Russian citizens who make their choice in favor of Europe, make their European choice. We are holding this conference for the first time during a period of very critical relations between Russia and the EU. These relations are in a crisis because the current political leadership of Russia is pursuing a policy which cannot be welcomed or considered as normal by either the European Union or the civilized world at large. 10 years ago, it would have been difficult to imagine that this level of relations and that this kind of policy by the Russian leadership is possible at all. At that time, we announced ourselves we proclaimed ourselves to be strategic partners. We laid the foundations, laid down the foundations for cooperation in human rights, humanitarian issues, security. We declared our plans for a visa-free zone between the EU and Russia, and we were contemplating a free trade zone between the two sides. Everything looked so good, so right, so promising, and it seemed that the Russian Federation was following the road prescribed by the Russian Constitution. Today, December the 12th, is the day of the Russian Constitution, and I must congratulate all Russian citizens and you as the participants in this conference, and I'm doing so, but I'm doing this while understanding and realizing that the Russian leadership is not complying with any single article of the Constitution of Russia. None of the foundations, none of the fundamentals of the Constitution are being followed. We have no human rights. We do not have free and independent elections. We do not have independent courts or the free press, and we have no division of authority, and local governments have been totally destroyed. All the basic features of a civilized democratic state have been trampled upon, and this is really deplorable. But we remain adherents to this course, to these universal values, and at our party, we believe, that in this very complicated period, it is necessary for us to consolidate our efforts. We have recently held a conference of our party together with other political groups, at which we announced our desire to consolidate our efforts in the struggle for the values we profess. Today, the Russian authorities are telling everybody that they are representing the interests of an overwhelming majority of the citizens, like 85% of the citizens who are said to approve of the current political course. But we all realize that these numbers do not reflect the reality. This is an unstable and shaky and artificial majority, because in conditions of all-out propaganda and intimidation of citizens, people give the kind of answers to sociologists that they think will protect them from harm. And I'm sure that this is wrong. Most people, I'm sure, do not want a return to the Soviet Union. They do not want to feel the pressure they used to have. They do not want their freedoms and rights trampled on. And when we talk about our future, I believe that while there is while the Constitution is in place, we must defend it, and we must support this policy aimed at a prospering and democratic Russia.